Tuning into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
I like that smile.
Clever smile.
Welcome, AfterBuzzers. Hello. Tonight we're talking about Allegiance, episode 4, which is called Chasing Ghosts. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel so that way you can stay up to date on all the latest episodes that we discuss. Also use our official hashtag, ABTTV Allegiance. I am your host, Lindsey Douglas. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Doug Ventures. And this is the wonderful...
What's going on, guys? I am Nicholas Grava, and you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Nicholas Grava.
And we have some very exciting news. For the first time ever on Allegiance, because it's episode 4. We have a special guest calling in all the way from New York, Mr. Scott Cohen, who plays Mark O'Connor, a.k.a. the most BA dad on the planet.
Yes, and a perfect episode to have him on too. He had such a great arc tonight, and I'm so excited for him to call in and to hear what he has to say.
We're just going to dive into it, get some insider perspective on all the drama that is happening in Allegiance.
I'd say in 4 episodes, like, the show seems to be really growing. Like, every episode has a different feel to it, too. Like, agree. Some episodes kind of take a backseat and we get to meet more characters. Like, this episode, we got to kind of see, like, Sarah a little bit more. Yeah. And she had a little bit more of an arc going on. So I think it's cool that in 4 episodes, I already feel like I've been with this show for a while. Do you know what I mean?
No, I absolutely agree. Yeah, even Natalie, there was a lot of focus on her and her past relationships, which I'm sure we'll get into, but I'm just intrigued with that whole encryptor man and all of that drama.
So much to learn. She always surprises me. Like, I really, every episode also, I have a different opinion of her. In the first episode, it wasn't so great. In the second episode, it started to change, and now I'm like up in the air because I don't know if she sincerely is being nice and she sincerely is going with their family and helping, or if she has like another intention.
I don't know. I think that her actually breaking up with Victor, that kind of showed where her allegiance lies.
Love it. I want to see how many times we could change this into a whole nother game.
How many times can we use allegiance?
So I think that for her, but then when she was talking to Victor in the restaurant, it seemed like she was hinting that she liked him again.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm confused at like why, and even he asked like, why did it change? Why doesn't make sense to me? So that's where I question.
I think that she's just conflicted, you know, like we have said before, and she just goes back and forth because she obviously wants to follow her heart towards this man, but also she has like an automatic allegiance.
Done. Number 2.
to her family.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, she's going to have a loyalty there, and I think she's kind of trying to figure it out for herself as well, and it's just like this overwhelming feeling that I can tell that she's dealing with, you know?
Were you surprised that the conversation they had once the parents were like kind of saved from the resident and they got out of the whole situation when they went back and they met her like on the pier or somewhere like near the water?
Yes.
Were you surprised at how much Katya knew about her and Victor?
It's a mother's intuition.
I did not know. See, like, that connection shocked me. I was like, wait a minute, what? I didn't know that she knew or was in, like, I thought that was a huge secret.
No, she had already known, remember? She had called her out on it, I think, on episode 2.
But
she told her she should break up with him.
Okay.
And then she knows that she didn't. She can tell that she's still seeing him. And then I think she awkwardly paused because she knew that she had a fling with the encryptor guy.
Oh, okay. So that's what I was. I'm like, wait a minute. Why is this such an awkward thing right now?
Oh, because she knew. Because she was like, I can't call him, and
And that's why Mark from the car was like looking with the hard look, like at them hugging it out. And I'm like,
you guys got to figure this out, Yeah. And then the mom is like, I know.
Yeah. She was hardcore this episode.
I know, she was.
She's getting more hardcore.
She gets
Erica would have been so happy because
yeah.
she said she wanted to see like the hardcore spy.
It's true.
And this is it.
She would be very happy. She does get very hardcore. Whereas Mark is just, I think he is the softer side, you know,
well, even
of the family, and kind of helps hold it together amidst all the craziness.
It was kind of displayed, I think, tonight when the resident kind of like had her at gunpoint, had the two of them at gunpoint, and after everything happened, Mark kind of like collapsed a little bit, and she stayed like standing up really straight.
Yeah.
And I think that was like a great example of or metaphor into like how they really are.
Look at you.
Yeah,
just,
you know, what can I say?
Reading that body language.
Just reading the body language. And so I was really shocked by that. And also the way she could talk her way out of it. Like if I had a gun at gunpoint to me, I would not even be able to speak. And she like really made a hard argument of like why he shouldn't do anything to her or them. And it worked.
Yeah, and the residents you always have a say for everything, which he kind of does.
Yeah.
Even with the whole Alex situation in the first episode when he almost busted her. And she was immediately like, all right, we're going to pause right there because
it's exciting.
We have Mr. Scott calling in with us right now. Is he there?
Hey.
Hey, Scott. I'm Lindsey. What's up?
Hey, Scott. How are you? This is Lindsey and Nick.
Lindsey. Hey, Lindsey. Hey, Nick.
Hi. Thank you so much for joining us. We know it's late over there.
It's so late.
It's a little late, that time difference.
Major time difference.
We just finished episode 4, Chasing Ghosts, and what a great episode. Did you watch tonight also? Were you tuning in?
I did. How did you guys see it, though?
We get on the studio, we have the East Coast feed in here, so we get to watch it a little bit ahead of time in case, so some shows tape live here, so that's why we watch the East Coast feed of it.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it was really great. I've only seen the pilot, so, I mean, I've seen the episode. I'm just watching the episodes as they're airing.
Okay.
So, it's all kind of a surprise to me. So it's totally exciting, and it's great because each episode kind of follows the last episode, and you really kind of have to follow what happened before, and it's awesome.
And let me tell you, every episode at the end also really holds you in for next week because
does.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. I get goosebumps. I'm like, oh no.
I always turn. I'm like, wait, it's over. That's it.
What I'm saying. Every time when we're going through and I see there's like a minute or 2 minutes left, I really don't want that. I'm like, there's so much. Like, especially at the end.
Oh yeah.
How could you guys do that to us tonight? I mean, that ending scene when you guys are at the Chinese restaurant and Alex sits down.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
amazing.
actually glad that happened because the way I remembered shooting it was that was actually in the beginning of the next episode, but I think they put it in the end of this episode and then continue it into the next episode, which is pretty cool.
Wow, that is cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, I mean, I had no idea that they were doing that.
Wow.
Yeah, so you guys don't know kind of how they're all going to break it up when you're filming, right?
Yeah, you never. Well, you usually do, but in this, George Nolfi's kind of a magician, so he has a vision and he just kind of creates it, and it's pretty brilliant. I have to say, it's a really, really solid show, and the hour goes by so quick. I mean, all the tweets that I get are pretty much about, that is the fastest hour I've ever seen on TV. I can't believe it's over already. Like all
it's
that kind
so
of stuff.
true.
Even tonight, Lindsey was shocked. She was like, wait a minute, this is the end of it? And I was like, I know, I can't wait another week for this.
You can't end it like this.
And I was so happy this episode because I think that it really like stressed like your relationships in this episode really became clear, and I was so excited to see that. And I think it was an amazing episode for Mark, the character, to really show the different sides. That scene with you and Katya like sitting on the bench was an amazing scene.
Yeah, that was really good. I mean, working with Hope is like kind of easy. I mean, she's so brilliant. It's, every scene we do together is fun, but it has been, the family dynamic is such an important part of the show. I mean, it really kind of anchors the show, to me at least, it anchors the show because the show is really one long, it's like a movie. So we're really, you're experiencing, where you're going to experience 13 episodes of a chase, and it's so when the family comes in, it really kind of anchors it and really kind of focuses you in on some drama that's or some reality that's really kind of present in relation to the two daughters, the son, the mother, and the father, and it's really about, at least for Mark, I mean, I think for all of us really, but it's about keeping the family together. And I mean, that's kind of where his allegiance lies, and that's where he keeps his focus. And as you go through the episodes, you see that it's constantly tested by what everybody does outside of the family. So it was good that this kind of like cemented their relationship and his kind of presence as the kind of patriarch of the family, and what his intentions are in terms of keeping it all together.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I think next week it's gonna open up with that same exact struggle of how Alex is gonna handle this and where his allegiance is gonna go. That's what we keep. You know what I mean? Like even tonight we saw, Alex saw Sarah on the camera, and he didn't tell his partner at the time, which I think also shows that his first allegiance is like, he does want to protect his family, and I love that. That's the one thing, and I think it runs across the whole family, even with all the kids. Like, I think everyone's intention really is they're in a crazy situation that most families don't go through.
Craziest family dynamic out there.
But they are holding the family
most
bond.
families don't go through that? I don't understand.
Most families aren't spies?
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, you know what? That leads me to another question, Scott. When you're playing such a crazy character like this and such an intense character, how much of Scott will leak in a character like this? As an actor myself, I always wonder that, how you break down the character, how that works. So I'd love to hear what you think.
I would say that there's an enormous amount of Scott in it. I mean, I think that when something is so extreme, I mean, you do a lot of research, you do a lot of, I mean, the amount of, I actually think for this show, I read more books for this show in terms of just trying to get a handle on what the Russian, what the SVR is, and what the CIA does, and what defense contractors do, and everything that's involved in this world, and just kind of, and Russian culture, and why I would be in love with it so much as a character. And that's kind of just that inevitably in this type of show becomes kind of periphery. It's really just, it becomes kind of the background in which you kind of work. But the emotional life of it is there's nothing I could do but try to relate to it, because it's so extreme. You would never really find yourself in these situations. So I mean, we shot a scene today actually that, I mean, I'm not going to spoil it, but we shot a scene today.
Oh, feel free, Scott. Come on, we'd love to know.
We want to hear.
No spoilers. No
Okay.
spoilers. But we shot this scene where it was as we're shooting it, and it's a really simple scene, but the idea of it is so extreme in terms of what we're doing that I started to realize, wow, this is actually about the family, and I had to relate it to what it was for the family, so that there was really kind of like that. It wasn't like a Law and Order scene. It really became about our relationship. It was between me and Katya and Alex, and it was, you had to kind of create that dynamic, or the show itself, kind of loses its kind of foundation, and that's really, we kind of struggle with that every episode, because this is how it started. This is what it is. It is about the story of a family kind of trying to keep itself together, but it's also about a son who has issues and has a brilliant mind, but it's his revelations and his evolution as he's kind of coming of age into this world that he's kind of developing for himself, which I find really interesting and wonderful.
Yeah.
So I would say, I mean, I use an enormous amount of myself. I mean, I related to my family and my son, and I mean, everything that happens with Alex, I kind of relate to how my relationship with my son and who my son is, and really kind of just understanding what family means to me, and that kind of keeps me grounded.
Yeah, I think
that's great.
I know. I think that's what makes the show so different and stands out, is because
and relatable.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot, and that's what makes the layers kind of add on top of each other. I think is just the family, and everyone kind of can relate to that because you're in a family. So we definitely
even if you're,
that's awesome that you think that. That's exactly what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I think it definitely comes across
Yeah,
for
definitely.
sure. Yeah. How far ahead are you guys in filming?
We are in episode. We just started episode. What would be episode 12.
Oh wow!
So,
okay.
and so it just aired was episode 4.
Yeah.
and we have 2 episodes, 12 and 13.
Okay.
Wow, very
You're
exciting.
wrapping it up there. You guys
We are.
getting
We're wrapping
sad
it up.
about
It's
that?
it's actually kind of, you always get kind of bummed out when you get near the end.
Yeah.
Are you guys filming? So to film an episode, is it like are you in a week? Is that usually what an episode will take?
It's slated for 8 days, but you always go over. So and you go over in weird ways. You go over like all of a sudden you're shooting the next episode, and then all of a sudden they say, "Oh, you're shooting this from episode 2 episodes before." You're like,
wow.
"What?"
That is tough.
So they kind of like sneak it in there, and you have no idea what just happened.
Oh, wow. And now I know New York is your hometown. The rest of the cast, are they from all around, or are most of them located down in New York?
I think everybody lives here. Kenny Choi lives in L.A.
Okay.
Who plays the CIA New York Station chief, whose character evolves and evolves and evolves, gets huge as the season goes on. Floriana Lima lives in L.A.
Okay.
Gavin Stenhouse lives in L.A. Hope lives here. Morgan lives here. Margarita lives here. I live here.
Oh wow.
So it's pretty split.
Bobby
right
Bird.
there.
Yeah, it's pretty New York Central. I don't think they planned it that way. I think anybody could have been from anywhere, but I think when Hope was, I think Hope was trying to get a show that would be in New York.
Oh,
so I think
okay.
I think that was her attempt at least.
And how does it feel being able to film in your home city, like where you grew up?
It's awesome. It's awesome. I mean, it's comfortable. I mean, it's not just about like living here. That's really great. Shooting here. It's just shooting here. New York there's such. It's so alive, and it's when you're shooting on location and when you're shooting on the street, you are kind of you feel like you're in the world, and there's no other city like it. It really is. Even in the weather, we've shot in below freezing weather.
We
We've shot
said
in
that
snow,
tonight. There
we've
was
shot in rain.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. It's insane, and so it creates this feeling of kind of an organic, natural, real feeling. I mean, and I've always felt that when I shoot in New York. It's never, and I mean, I'm an actor who like kind of loves to you like to feel the grit on your hands, and you like to feel the grit in the air, and like that that feels like you're working, and you're doing something worthwhile.
Yeah, a little bit different than probably filming this show in like a back lot in California. I don't
In
think
LA,
you get the same feel.
Like I remember shooting NYPD Blue, and this is years ago, and my first experience on the Fox lot, which on their New York street, which I was like, "What's this?
You're like, this is not my hometown."
Not the real thing.
Yeah, but it looks exactly the same.
Oh, that's so weird.
That's crazy.
Yeah, even Nick.
Or Gilmore Girls when they did on the lot on Warner Brothers lot, and they do Stars Hollow in Connecticut, and you're like, oh my God, it's amazing. It's just like and you don't. I mean, if you've never seen it, you just have no clue. It's really when you're there, it's truly an amazing thing that people have built these streets, these areas on studio lots that are they're just they're towns, they're cities, it's crazy. It's beautiful.
No, it is. It's true.
That's unbelievable.
Even when you and Katya were taken at gunpoint, Nick goes, "Oh wow, they look so cool."
Yeah, I was like, they look like they are freezing out there, and it did. You're 100% right. Like it elevated the scene to a place that really took it to that really sincere, like you said, like
in
the grit.
that warehouse thing. In that warehouse.
Yeah. After you guys were.
Yeah, it was freezing.
Yeah,
it was freezing.
it looked like it.
And I was like,
and it was it's because you're right on the river.
Yep.
You're right on on the East River, and it's the wind, and you're totally cold, and you know that you're gonna have to re-record all your most of what you say because it's like the wind is too much, and you're like you're cursing everybody out. You're just there's no place to really sit. There's they have a warming van that you could sit in, and then you try to be all like hero like I could take it. I'm okay. And then you're like shivering, and your nose gets really red, and everybody's like, no, you should sit over here.
You should wear that.
Yeah, those are that whole all those areas are like are areas of Brooklyn that like nobody goes to. they're really beautiful areas.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I think it really makes it sort of like translates into the whole world and it builds the whole allegiance world, I think, for all of you guys to live in.
Well, I don't know if you saw that. Was it last week? I think where they killed the guy and they dropped him in
the river.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Did he really fall in the river?
Did they have an actor?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, what a guy taking one for the role
What a
right
trooper.
there. Oh my gosh.
I mean, that's intense. Yeah, I hope he's okay.
Best wishes to
I
him.
actually never heard from him after.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my gosh.
I would never do that. But, others do.
Call in a double for that, Scott, if they ever.
I'm not going to jump in the East River. It's okay.
That's amazing. Hey, Scott, can you tell just for everyone that's watching, want to tell them your Twitter handle just so they know where they can find you and follow you?
Sure. At Scott E. Cohen. So SCOTTECOHEN.
Awesome. That's
All right,
perfect.
wonderful.
Scott, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes,
this is
thank
amazing.
you.
We are loving the show. And anytime you ever want to call in, we are here. We'd love to chat.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I'm really happy that you're enjoying it.
Yeah, we are. Have an
Thank
awesome
you.
night.
All right, you too. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye,
Okay.
Scott.
Bye.
That's
Woo!
amazing.
Got our first insider perspective
Wow,
there.
that's great. Let me tell you.
That's so cool.
I think there's so much stuff that I just learned and to put together. First of all, but yeah, number one thing is it is crazy cold filming in New York.
Well, first, us being from the East Coast,
Yeah.
from Massachusetts, we do sympathize and understand the true meaning of cold. And it would not be fun to stand out there all day reshooting scenes.
Although, let me tell you, that's very true. Though.
When it's when it's like -2 or -10, it might get a little...
I think it was, what is like 65 outside? I think we both complained. We were like, it's
did.
freezing out here.
We were like, let's go inside. It's cold out
That's
here.
what you do. It's LA, #LA problems.
#LA problems.
But yeah, I was so happy. I mean, so to see that is the family, like the ties of the family is so crucial to the actors, and that's something that they're really trying to push across.
Because it's something we've been talking about.
And it's something we always cover, and it's something I think that is really translating, and that's what I think is exciting for me. I think for Scott, even to hear that it's translating across, and for the viewer is really cool.
Yeah, I know. I'm like stoked about that, and like that we were able to. He acknowledged. He was like, "Oh, that's what we're going for."
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, "Well, we got it.
Yeah,
good job, George Nolfi. Great job. Good writing.
Yeah,
like,
for
good actors."
real.
Yeah, no, I really did enjoy that.
So, I mean, I wish, you know what I wish we asked him?
What?
I wish we kind of got his perspective on the scene. Well, we kind of touched upon it, but where she admits that she cheated.
Yeah.
That was a big moment tonight.
I know, because, I mean, we briefly only touched on, like, their talking in their relationship, but yeah, that was a big moment, and I'm confused. Was he cheating also?
Now, he said,
that's my question.
And I'm not quoting exactly, but he said something in the thing of like, I'm not perfect either. Mm-hmm. And she responded with, I know. And then he was like, ha ha ha.
And then that was
and then that was it. Yeah, so I don't know what else to infer with that except for he was cheating. And I think that's why you even said while we were watching it, you said, well, he was so calm when she just told. And I'm like, well, wouldn't you be calm if you knew the board was kind of even?
I feel like he kind of already knew, because when she had first said something to Alex, he kind of was just like, oh, that was a good line. He was kind of mad, but it was like he already knew. I don't know. They're spies. I feel like they know things.
Oh, it's so hard dealing with spies on this. Yeah,
what do they know? What do they not know?
And I think that's just going to be, like he said,
yeah.
I think it was cool also that he said it's sort of like a big movie chase. Do you know what I mean? Like continuing on with that. And it does have that feel of every episode. It's up, 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 up. And then you're like, oh my God, I got to get to next episode.
Well, that's so funny that he even said, because we were both like, Chinese food restaurant. This needs to happen.
Yeah.
This can't be done.
And I can't, he said that was supposed to be in the beginning of episode 5.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool that they would tease us with it right here.
They are teasing us. They're reeling us in. I'm pretty reeled in.
And it's working because, exactly. So what did you think of the way that Alex fought once the FBI director came in and he was like, do you have proof? And he didn't have proof that the laptop was stolen by the SBI.
Yes.
Like he didn't have that proof.
Know.
So what do you think of him on the trail, like how he came to the conclusion of like, let me go back, let me think about the door, the wire being cut?
I mean, I was honestly kind of expecting it. I was waiting for him to catch something that he missed, because up to this point he's been so right on in every single little thing, and and he catches the little things.
Yeah.
So like that little sign on the door just tweaked his memory, and he was there, and he was like, wait.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like us normal people wouldn't think of that.
No, you feel like I am dang sure that us normal people aren't thinking. When he said the door, I was like, what door? When? I already forgot. It was 2 minutes. My mind forgot about it. Like, I was shocked.
2 minutes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wish I had that memory, but
No,
you know,
I know. Seriously.
I was kind of upset that the office was teasing him with the Easter eggs all around, like in the drawer and everything.
I know. Who knew like the FBI has like a sense of humor?
That's true too. Like all these,
feel like they wouldn't.
very like hard-edged, and they're like, who's like, oh, I'm gonna go CVS and buy some Easter eggs. Like, who did that?
Picture someone walking into CVS.
No,
like,
I don't. I'm from the FBI. Let me do this.
I have this.
Yeah. So I think just continually, like the stuff that he comes up with, I think that's why he's such a great character. Just because like I would have never thought, even the bus footage.
Yeah.
Who would have thought of that?
I don't know. They think of that stuff though. They're trained to think of it.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But I don't know. Michelle did not think of it.
No, but I am happy that Michelle is finally like on his side. And she
Yeah.
keeps saying that. She was like, you know what? When they went upstairs in the
Into that little crawl space.
yeah, when they went into the
Yeah.
crawl space and she saw the footprint, she was like, I should have backed you. I should have
knew.
backed you and said I heard
knew.
something or anything. And so I think them two now coming together, that's great.
I think
I'm
it's
happy
great.
to see that.
Should we make any more predictions?
Oh man, I don't know. You know, okay,
don't know.
so let's ooh, here we go.
Now,
What's
your
gonna happen?
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Prediction. I always wanted to try it.
So
I've been waiting
that
so
was
long.
so creepy. Good job.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks so much. My biggest. Okay, I want to ask you this. Biggest prediction. The encrypted info that they got off the
Yes.
computer. This bomb or
It's totally a
blast
bomb.
radius.
It's totally a bomb.
Is it going to go off?
No, it's not going to
It's
go
not
off.
going
They're going
off.
to save the
It's
day.
not going off.
It's not
It's-
going off. They're saving the
Oh,
day.
man, yeah.
Hashtag day saved.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, I love giving out new
I love
hashtags
giving
too. I think you're right. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So prediction: the bomb is not going to go off.
Bomb's not going off. But
Are they gonna
what
go to
is-
the FBI?
What is Alex going to do? When first of all, are they going to tell him everything,
Yes,
or are they going to tell him the bare minimum of everything?
they're spies. Bare minimum.
Bare minimum
That's what I'm
spies.
going. I want to say
bare
yes,
minimum,
but you're right.
it's
bare
going to be
minimum.
enough to like blow his mind. Like
Yeah.
from the previews that we all saw, like he obviously is a little confused and conflicted about his entire life, as one would be.
As one, imagine. Oh my gosh.
You were going to say the same thing as me.
What?
As one would be.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, we're on the same wavelength,
We're on
so
the
it's
same
fine.
page.
So yeah, that would be my prediction, and I think he's gonna hear them out. I think he's gonna go off the rails and go crazy. I don't think he's gonna turn them in yet.
No, I don't think he's going to turn them in.
So we're on the same page.
yeah,
with our
we're on the same page on
predictions.
that.
Wow.
I do think Natalia
Yeah.
may go back to Victor, not eventually, not right away, but in later episodes.
I can't get that one. I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know what she's doing. If she's on his
I'm
side
going to
or the
predict that it
family.
can happen. Girls are just so, we're
What?
just so, we go all over the place.
Yeah, y'all are hard to read. I don't know
We
what's
are
going
hard to
on.
read.
I know, and then add spy on top of it, and it's like
It's just
okay.
like, I can't read you. Nope.
no, not even
You're
gonna
like
try.
this table.
Never gonna try.
No
it. Don't even
emotions
know. No,
right now.
nothing showing. Wow, so those are good predictions. I
Yeah.
think I'm excited.
I am
was so
excited.
happy. Scott, thank you again
Yes,
for
Scott,
calling in.
thank you.
That was amazing, and we're excited for next week.
We are excited for next week. And speaking of next week,
Mm-hmm.
there's also a brand new groundbreaking show on ABC
Yep.
called American Crime, and it premieres next Thursday night on ABC, of course, at 9 Central. It was created by John Ridley, the Oscar-winning screenwriter of 12 Years a Slave, and it stars Felicity
Huffman.
and Timothy Hutton as the main characters, and it covers issues such as race, class, and gender politics. So it should be really good. We're really excited. Nick and I are extremely excited because we get to be part of the panel that
Yes.
discusses way more in depth about the show, get celebrity guests on, hopefully just discuss a lot of the main big issues
I think
that
it's
seem
going to
to be
the
talking
trailer.
about.
You guys, if you haven't seen it, go look up the trailer right now
Go do
because
it.
it's amazing, and we're excited, and we'll be on it next week.
We will,
Yeah.
and we're so excited. So check it out. ABC's new show, American Crime, next Thursday night at 9 Central. And that is all for tonight. I'm your host, Lindsey Douglas. You can follow me at Doug Ventures.
And I'm your host, Nicholas Grava. You can follow me at Nicholas Grava on Twitter and Instagram.
And what's our hashtag for the show, Nicholas?
Our hashtag is ABTV Allegiance. Use it. Chat with us.
Check it out because we want to hear from you. Tell us what you thought of Scott.
Yes.
We loved him.
Yeah. And Scott is Scott E. Cohen.
Scott E.
On
Cohen.
Twitter.
On Twitter.
Yes. So you can get him too. All right,
so
guys.
follow him too.
We'll see ya.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.